Actually, we got a couple seconds. So it is 5:30. Call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Your vote? Here. Clark?
Here.
Eisenbraun?
Here.
Hodge?
Here.
Jacobs? Here. Clairby?
Here.
Okay, any conflicts of interest to declare? Okay, hearing none, moving on. Oh, how about we approve the agenda? Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda. We have 5 items.
Move to approve.
Any discussion on those? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unopposed? Motion carries. Under City Attorney, approve the following agreements for 4021 Pentler Avenue, utility easement agreement and the encroachment agreement. And Gina is not here, so.
There are 2 agreements. We'll take the utility easement agreement first, so we'll need 2 separate motions, one for each of these. First one is the utility easement agreement. The easement already exists. It was laid out on a plat, but this agreement just further defines the use of the easement and specifies that it's held by Spearfish for utilities.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And now the encroachment agreement.
The second one is less routine than the other one. It pertains to the same property. The owner built a home and a portion of the eave and a small portion of the foundation encroach onto the easement. And then there's a concrete slab over the easement as well. This agreement allows those improvements to stay with certain restrictions and some provisions that require the owner to hold the city harmless for its use of the easement and specifies that it runs with the land for any subsequent owners.
Move to approve encroachment agreement.
Second. And discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Under Finance, hold a public hearing to consider an application from Canada Salter with Pure Bliss, which is DBA of A Perfect 10. This is for an on-off sale malt beverage license at 2430 Platinum Drive, Suite 10. So, anything to add to this?
Nope, this is a new application for a new license to be located on Platinum Drive for a new salon.
Okay, is there, Ashley, can you would you mind grabbing the sheet? I don't think I saw anyone sign up. Okay. No one signed up, but I will open the public hearing. And no one has signed to speak, so I will close the public hearing. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
And any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, under Human Resources, I'd like to promote Boyd Dean to Assistant Chief of Police. This is grade 23, step 15, 43.22 an hour, and this is, of course, a replacement position.
I can grab this one. Boyd is here tonight. Boyd's been with us a long time, brings a vast amount of experience. First thing in life, I think, out of school, he's an Air Force vet. Started with the city in '94, part-time as a dispatcher and reserve officer. Has gone through becoming a full-time officer, sergeant, lieutenant for the last 9 years. Been a part of our 3-person command staff for that time. Invaluable asset. Very proud to have him fill this role, and there's nothing that I think he cannot do within that command staff structure. So he'll do a great job.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Just want to know this is an exception from the current wage policy. Anything to add to that? Just
No, that's the same thing you've been hearing. We're working on changing that policy, but right now we have a self-imposed restriction if this falls outside. So.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Eisenbrown,
Yes.
Hodge,
Yes.
Jacobs. Yes. Clarenbeek,
Yes.
motion carried.
Congratulations. Thank you for stepping up to an even higher leadership position for you. And adding to the chiefs in the room. We appreciate that.
We'll probably be back at some point in the near future to do something more official.
Okay. Very good. Little party for him. So Parks and Rec authorize city staff to modify the TA grant application to meet the recommendation of ASHTO and the South Dakota DOT. Okay.
So when we first met with the TA Grant Selection Committee, we asked, the very first question we asked is 8 foot reasonable? They said, yes, absolutely. Now we're hearing that they don't ever approve grants unless they're 10 foot wide, which meet ASHTO and DOT standards. Now there are exceptions to that. You know, obviously if you don't have enough room, but it has to be a viable exception. Really our biggest restraint is budgetary reasons, and if we're asking for the grant, we as staff feel that that could compromise our chances of getting the grant if we only do the 8 foot. What we're asking tonight is that when Tanya and I go to Pier on November 13th to present our rec path, that we can speak on council's behalf and says, you know, if it's cost effective and it improves our chances of getting the grant, we're willing to go to that 10 foot width. Visiting with Kyle, he estimates it's about $175,000 total project, so phase 1 and phase 2 to add that extra 2 feet. So if you figure we get a $400,000 grant for phase 1, we're still ahead, and even if we get another $400,000, we're well ahead. And if all things being equal, we get a 10 foot path, that's even better. So,
Right.
the one negative to this is right now we're in a holding pattern. We're at 50% plans, and we really can't have our engineering firm move forward with design if we're going to go 8 foot or 10 foot, which may push us back if we don't get the grant going to bid in the spring of next year till maybe February or March, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
If we get the grant, we have to hold off a whole year anyway. If we don't get the grant, we still like to pursue construction next year, so
Sure.
we may back that up a month and a half.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And when do you go to Pier?
November 13th.
Okay. Under public safety, approve William Hubbard as engine boss for the Wildland Responses rate of 25 per hour. Anything, Dad?
This was basically a housekeeping item that we had not gotten read in order to pay him that engine boss rate for work that he's doing. I don't know if there's anything to add, Michelle, just basically clear.
No, he just wasn't on the list that we approved back in April,
Okay.
so add him now.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Eisenbrown,
Yes.
Hodge,
Yes.
Jacobs. Yes. Clarenbeek,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Public Works allow city staff to disband the airport advisory board and create an airport task force.
Yes,
Yes.
since I've been here, and even probably before that, there has never been an airport advisory board quorum. So the board is basically, it hasn't done anything official since I've been here, and that was probably since March or maybe even a little bit before that. So the city staff and the airport manager, the mayor, all kind of been brainstorming some different ideas on how we could be a little more effective. And then the airport task force idea came to fruition. What we'd like to do with that is it wouldn't be a regularly scheduled board. It would be a board that would meet when we had something worthy of the board's or the task force attention. It wouldn't be, they would have no power derived from state law. They would basically be a sounding board for any of the ideas that we wanted to get some information from them. It would be a grouping of individuals, maybe 5, 6, 7 people from a good cross-section of the town that we can just ask some information from, get some advice, and that's what the idea is behind that. Ashley has drafted an ordinance that basically replaces the current ordinance. It would disband the advisory board and then put this task force in place.
And we've been talking about this for a while, and Ray talked to the state just to make sure that not having an advisory board doesn't get us into trouble with any grants or anything like that, because sometimes with the forestry advisory board, you have to have that board for those to come through, and there's nothing out there that there is a need for this board. And I think with the task force, they can sit down and talk about the airport layout plan. They can do a lot of things that aren't in a formal sense, and they're just at the table and kind of working things out. So I think I've received some good feedback on moving it to this from those on the board and others that want to come in and help. So that's kind of where we sit with it.
I'll move to approve first reading of ordinance 1304.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just would like to, I guess, voice my support for it. I was on the airport board prior to being on city council, and a lot of time wasted with that, so I think an advisory committee, not an advisory committee, but a task force would be a much better use of our time
Yeah.
and assets in the city, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, approve the bill list dated October 21st.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any discussion on that? Okay, roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Eisenbrock,
Yes.
Hodge,
Yes.
Jacobs. Yes. Larrabee.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, mayor and council items. We have one official item here, to appoint Randy Smith to Spearfish Historic Preservation Commission. She is replacing Kaya. Kaya was on that board, but now she felt it, she needs to step off of that, and so Randy Smith would like to take her place. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other items from council?
I know Mike's not here, and I don't know if I haven't talked to the rest of the council, but maybe just an update at the next meeting and the meeting after about where we're at with talks with Lawrence County on some of our road issues. I know it's been a couple meetings since we talked about it, just I think to see where that's at and see if we're making any progress. I think our public would like to know about that, so.
I could fill a couple things in. I've just got some dates that I have from a gentleman named Bruce Autka, I think is how you say his last name.
Yes.
And then I spoke a little bit today with their highway maintenance crews and just got a little more information about what they plan on doing going ahead. So I'll just fill you in on some of the dates that I've been speaking to Bruce and some of the efforts that me, Mike, and Ashley have made in an attempt to go out and talk to them. So way back on 9/15, I called Bruce to try to arrange a meeting for all of us to sit down and basically just hash out this road agreement or disagreement and try to come up with a plan to move forward. He took that on board and then called me back a little bit later, maybe an hour, hour and a half, and said that he would prefer to have an email with what the city thinks is appropriate on a way to move forward, and he would take that email to the county commission. So I followed up with Bruce on 9/17 about that, and then he was going to take that to city council. I also proposed in that email that we have a meeting on 9/23. Bruce declined in favor of the email, didn't want that meeting, and decided to take it to county commission. The county commission happened, and to our knowledge, they didn't discuss the road. Me, Mike, and Ashley actually drove over to Deadwood, and the meeting got pushed back, the county commission meeting got pushed back, and we looked, there was nothing in the minutes that said they talked about it. I called Bruce the next day and asked if anything was discussed, and he said that nothing was discussed there. So that was the very next day after the 24th. Then October 2nd, I sent another email with Bruce checking in to see if there was any more information or if they had time to talk about it. And then on October 2nd, he replied back with nothing new to report. So numerous times we've reached out to him, trying to set meetings, asking for information, showing up to the county commission, but we've got nothing back. Today, I talked to a gentleman named Alan, who is in charge of plowing snow and doing some other things, I guess, for the county. And he expressed their frustration with not knowing who was in charge of Christensen Drive or Maitland Road and all the other roads that seemed to be in limbo at the time And when he's fielding phone calls from citizens concerned about snow or ice or whatnot, he doesn't know where to direct them to, and we're feeling that frustration on our side as well. Like Maitland Road, for example, we're maintaining it. It's a priority route, but when we get calls, we have to refer them to the county because it's a county-owned road and technically a county-maintained road too for snow removal. So it's kind of a weird situation that we're in all around for all of the different roads. So he was frustrated today, and he let me know that he was going to bring that frustration to tomorrow's county commission meeting, and then hopefully discuss it there. So that's where we're sitting.
There's, because of the municipal league and some other things, that we could not schedule just a joint meeting with them. And then some were out of town, so we will again try to do a joint meeting to kind of work through that, some of that stuff. It was my understanding that they knew, they had communication about what roads they were going to plow and what roads we were going to plow, so we'll see what happens. Thank you very much. Any questions from council on that? No? Okay, so any other council items before we move on? Nope, hearing none. Any department items?
Nothing on the park and rec front, but from the safety front, we had last Thursday our first kind of a pre-meeting for our employee-led safety committee. We kind of discussed what the expectations were, what that committee was going to look like, and then we'll be having our first official employee-led safety committee on November 14th, where we'll set some goals, a mission statement, kind of what that committee is going to look like for the staff here at the city and how we're going to try to improve our safety culture. So that's an exciting event for us to get a safety committee actually stood up again.
Very good, thank you. A lot of work on that. Ashley, anything to add? Michelle? Dusty?
These last couple snow events have been good practice for us. Last night the crew was out. They started at 7 p.m. and went all the way until 5 this morning. So they're doing some good work, and a lot of things have been tried, and we're tweaking the plan a little bit. So every snow we're getting better and better.
Right, and that was wet and heavy there.
It really was. Yeah,
Yes.
and then icy.
And yeah, well, I did some shoveling and it had that blueness of Atlas. Did you see that? It's like, oh, the snow's blue. I don't like seeing that color in my
Yeah.
snow, but thank you.
4 more days in the forecast.
4 more days of snow, right?
In the forecast, yeah.
I know. Okay, thank you. Chief, our director, sorry.
I don't have much more. Maybe ask Chief Mathis just to let you know what activity they've had with the wildland crew the past couple of weeks.
Mayor, council, last couple of weeks been kind of relatively slow. We do still have a tender out in Colorado. Firefighter battalion chief Winslow, excuse me, is actually the crew out there. And I was just speaking with Michelle a while ago, possibly looking at extending him out. Also, Thursday and Saturday, we sent 2 of our Type 6 engines, the smaller engines, over to Fort Meade for the day to assist with the control burn that everybody was seeing where all the smoke going up. And so we worked about 400 acres out there on BLM land. And it was kind of unique with BLM before they even requested the resource. First phone call I got was, hey, can Spearfish come support us?
Mhm.
And they specifically requested Spearfish to come and help them out.
That's great.
So it's kind of a good deal for us.
Very good, thank you. Anything else? All right, so at this time, we will open public comment. If you have a comment, please go to the podium. You know the drill.
Mayor, council, staff, and folks who made it this far into the meeting, my name is John Dale. I live at 239 West Jackson Boulevard here in Spearfish, just right over there. Have a couple of things I'd like to share with the council and staff and everyone today. In particular, Dusty, right? Dusty? I'm John. Caitlin, would you stand up for just a moment? Dusty, this is my daughter, Caitlin. Caitlin and I and my other daughter, Casey, shovel our front walk. And we made a video for Public Works this morning that we'd like to share with you and your staff about one of our challenges. Are we mad? Heck no. You guys have a difficult job, and there's so many different circumstances at play. I appreciate that. and I wanted to give you a little bit of recon. So we made you 3 videos this morning. So they're about 9 minutes long total. That goes through our adventures in snow shoveling. And so those can be found at plainstribune.com/Dusty. So we made those just for you and your staff there. And we'd sure appreciate it if you could share those around and maybe help us to not have to lift so much of that really wet, heavy snow. And it comes right off the road too, so it's got all the stuff in it, from diesel byproduct, or stuff coming out of the tailpipes and dust, and the what do you call the stuff that melts the snow?
Snow melt?
Snow melt. So
It
that's
really
in
is
there,
called
too.
snow melt.
Ice, ice
and we-
slicer is the name of it.
We have thrown it up on the grass in the past, but it hasn't been the best for the grass, so we've tried to build a border. It's all in the video. Also, I'd like to leave council and staff and everyone else with an invitation to check out a draft ordinance that I wrote. It's at Plains Tribune as well. I do a radio broadcast there, an internet radio broadcast, and I would like to invite everyone to take a look at the draft ordinance that I created. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one running for the podium, I will close public comment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, we are adjourned. Quick meeting and not a senior in